collective actions matter. A single, self-interested choice by one of us can hurt all of us. But we also hear the love that we have for one another, the love that we have for the stranger, for the widow, for the orphan, for the homeless, for the uninsured. That can give us the power to repair the world. The love we have for other species, for our planet, for our environment, for the generations that are born, that are growing up, and the generations yet to come, that has the power to change our world. The Unatana Tokef prayer. I could not imagine in the last year a prayer more appropriate. Who by water? Who by fire? Who by sword? Who by beast? Who by famine? Who by ceiling tile? Unatana Tokef says there are many ways to die. There are many ways to die horribly. But there's a way that we can change not only our individual fate, but our collective one as well. Unatana Tokef says if you want to change your fate, you have to do three things. Okay, die-hard shul goers. Those three things are teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah. These three things can change our collective fate, and each one of those requires the deepest sense of humility to do. Teshuvah is the ability to admit that we have made a mistake, that we are wrong, that God forbid I shouldn't have gotten into that Facebook fight, that troll flame war on Twitter, shouldn't have been involved. That my position, even though I might believe in it strongly, all the Reddit posts I've read confirm it, all the YouTube videos that I've watched in chain succession, going down that rabbit hole, confirm that I'm 100% right. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't know best. Can you imagine if Twitter had a banner, had a masthead like a newspaper, on top of the page that said, check your ego, on the top? But that's not their business model. So the first of the things that can change our lives, our collective fate, teshuvah. The second, tefillah. In a world in which we believe we are masters of our own universe, we cry out, not individually, but collectively, to a God we do not understand or control, to a God who's described in ways that sometimes make us uncomfortable. We let our voices go out into the universe and say, we are not in charge. We do not have unlimited power. We are not allowed to make decisions that have impacts on our planet without suffering the consequences. And the third, tzedakah. Tzedakah is often translated as charity. That is not the correct translation. Tzedakah does not mean charity. Charity comes from the Latin word caritas, which means that it is linked to emotion. Tzedakah is not linked to emotion. Nobody in Judaism cares if you feel good when you do tzedakah. Does not matter. Sure, it's a great motivator, but it doesn't matter. Tzedakah is about righteous distribution and renewal of community-held resources. That is what tzedakah is. Tzedakah is founded on the idea, you should excuse me for saying this for sure, it's founded on the idea of grace. I have struggled my whole life to understand what our brethren down the street mean by grace. Apparently what they mean by grace is that you didn't do anything to earn what you got. You don't deserve it. It can come to you like this, and it can be taken from you like this. And as a result, one should have a level of humility in dealing with their good fortune. We live in a state where the prosperity doctrine, the idea that if you're rich, it's because God loves you. Interesting tautology. We are in the state that is the epicenter of that. South Orange County, I was raised in Orange County. South Orange County, the center of the prosperity doctrine. At least graceful of all the doctrines. But I want to suggest that we should be aware of this sense of grace, that what we have we do not deserve, even if we feel we earned it. It came to us partially by the chance and circumstances of our birth, by our families, by the society and the structures that support us and allow us to do what we do. And we have a responsibility not only to ourselves, to what we deserve, but to everyone else around us. Our mutual obligation to one another means that we must decrease our carbon footprints. We must be humble about wearing our masks and getting our vaccines. And we must, for God's sakes, turn down the YouTube videos on the train. We need to remember to be humble, knowing that our actions have implications for others that we may never meet and we may not yet be born. We need to remember to be humble in the face of our climate, because it is stronger than we, as it will prove to us every single time. In a society that tells us that we deserve everything, that we are masters of our own universes, and that we, our needs and our desires are everything, we must remember that we are also nothing. We're going to continue with our Torah service. We are a little behind schedule.
Yeah, but we're also going to honor, you're going to honor the layers with the Aliyot. So the congregation honors Rabbi Rosner, who will lay in the first Aliyah with the first Aliyah. Why do we not have the lesson sheet?
The first Aliyah, we find that sheet, is going to be found on page 100, very top of the page, Genesis 21, verse 1. Adonai took notice of Sarah. Again, very top of page 100.
Ya'amor Harav Daniel Eliyahu ben Harav Ketzer Rafael Amos Ve'aviva Rishon.
It's too bad that the name is long in the Aliyah. There it is. Barechu et Adonai Hamporah. Baruch Adonai Hamporah Olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Venatan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. V'Adonai Pakad et Sarah Kasher Amar Vayas Adonai LeSarah Kasher Diber V'Tahar V'Teled Sarah LeAbraham Ben Dizkunav Lamoed Asher Diber Oto Elohim Vayikra Abraham Shem Beno Hanolad Lo Asher Yaleda Lo Sarah Yitzchak Vayamol Abraham Et Yitzchak Beno Ben Shmonat Yamim Kasher Tzira Oto Elohim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
יעמוד שני. ואני אזוק אותו מי שבר אבותינו, אברהם יצחק ויעקב, so כנפל דביה, עיר בית, הרב דניאל, אליהו, בן, הרב, הרצל, רפאל, עמוס, ואביבה, שעלה היום לכבוד המקום ולכבוד התורה ולכבוד היום האביב. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור כל משפחה, שלח ברכה וברכה וכל מעשה כל ישראל אברהם ויאמר
Amen. The second aliyah is going to be found still on page 100. We're now towards the middle of the page, verse number 5. Abraham ben Me'at Shana. Now Abraham was 100 years old, almost like our second.
יעמוד שאול איתן ונחם אבנר ושימו לאה.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Adonai Baruch Olam Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato Baruch Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Ve'Avraham b'me'at shana ve'hiva lebo Yitzchak beno v'tomer Sarah tzefok asali Elohim kol hashemei Yitzchak li v'tomer mi hilel le'Avraham heini kavanim Sarah ki yoladati v'mitzvunam v'yigdal hayeled v'yigama v'yas Avraham mishte gadol v'yom higamel et Yitzchak v'teres Sarah et bena garha mitzrit asher yolda le'Avraham et Safek v'tomer le'Avraham garei shama hazot v'et bena ki lo yirash benama hazot im beni Yitzchak v'yera hadavar me'od enei Avraham al odot beno v'yomer Elohim el Avraham al yira beinecha al hanar ve'al matecha kol asher tomar elecha Sarah shma betola ki beyitzchak yikare lecha zara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam atah b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
יעמוד שלישי, and this being TPI, I would like to call out a volunteer. Somebody who's never in their life, although they have nothing to choose 10% aliyah. If anybody wants to lead it, there is help up here to do it. Okay, we're doing this 3 times. I'm moving on to anybody who since their bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah has never had an aliyah. This is your moment. Step up. The important thing is to do it, not to know how to do it. Okay, thirdly. Oh, excellent. Where's the end? Okay, my last attempt before I go to the general populace. Anybody who's had bar mitzvah has an aliyah, but not in this shul. Anybody? There you go. Please come up. In the meantime, let me do the last blessing. Stay there for 1 second while I give the blessing. No, here. You're not out. By the way, when I give, I am not giving a blessing. I'm asking God to give you a blessing. Okay, so come here. מי שבר אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו ושבת הזליה תהיה בהם ארץ.
שאול איתן
שאול איתן
ומנחם אבנר
ומנחם אבנר ושימה לאה שעלה היום לכבוד המקום ולכבוד התורה ולכבוד השבת. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור אותו וכל משפחתו ישלח ברכה ובטחה בכל מעשה ידיו וכל ישראל ונאמר אמן. אוקיי, תעמוד, יוסף אמרת בת רחמיאל ויעקבה, שלישית.
The third Aliyah is going to be found now on page 101, towards the top of the page. We're at verse number 13. Vagam et ben ha'amah, as for the son of the slave woman.
Quick announcement for those of you who have brought your children, or those of you who are children or wish to be children. We are scheduled for the children's experience in about 2 minutes, and we are far behind schedule in this room. So the dream that I had was that we would hear shofar and then go to the gift service, but we're behind. So if you can hold off on your shtilkis for a little bit longer, we'll start the kids' service promptly.